So happy to be spending this night with you and getting you updated on all that's going on at the co-op. Exciting times. Juggling a million things at once, and we want to make sure you guys are along for the ride and shouldering all this stress with all of us. All right, I need help with all this. So let's see if we can get everybody up to date here. Okay. So we like to start out with our core values. Local. We will emphasize buying locally sourced food and products. Environmental sustainability, centering environmental sustainability in everything we do. Vibrant and engaged community. We seek to be engaged with and benefit all residents of our diverse community. Financially strong. We will run a financially strong and successful community-owned business. Good to kind of start out with those, centering us, reminding us why we're here and what we're doing this for. I'd say our fifth, if we had a fifth core value, it would probably be inclusivity. And a big part of that inclusivity would be food access. And so, people might get tired of this slide or some of the graphics on this slide, but it's really important to us. And we want people to know that it's still a part of our work every week or, every month. We're taking steps forward to make this store a store for everybody in Fredericksburg. We talked about this a lot, so I won't go over it too much detail, but we will accept SNAP food stamps at the store. We will hopefully be a WIC store, the Women and Infant and Children's program. And of course we will have sales deals, low prices, something to, that all grocery stores have, and the co-op will be similar to other grocery stores in that one regard. Different in many other regards, but similar in that one. And the SNAP match is kind of what we have a little bit of an update on. You can see a couple of the graphics here. This USNAP We Match. It's a sponsorship from Virginia Fresh Match, and that has funding really through all of next year. So we're lucky about that. And then you can see some of the stores that they're partnering with. So here's the Roanoke Food Co-op down here. And what it is just that when folks come in using SNAP, they spend $10 on EBT food stamps, and they get $10 in free fruits and vegetables. So it's really a way to double their money. And during COVID, actually, they've extended that to $20. So with spend $20, get $20 match. So really cool way that the store becomes more accessible, and we encourage, more produce sales and hopefully local produce sales there. All right, a little progress report. Construction is moving along. Just today I was talking with the superintendent, and it's funny, we're just starting to see the finish line. We for a while things have been pretty hazy. And working through delays and certain equipment issues, getting hung up on things, hanging up other parts of the process. And just today we were starting to talk through, wow, we don't have that many more obstructions in our way, and things should really start falling into place. So definitely that was an exciting kind of realization and conversation today. As all the final pieces kind of start coming together, ordering and coordinating all the equipment, all our major lead time items, equipment wise, have been ordered and are either in the building already, outside in the parking lot, as you may have noticed, because certain things are not ready to come inside the building, unfortunately, yet, or on the way. So that's a lot of work, ordering and coordinating all that, finalizing all those purchases, working through the kinks, making sure the schedules line up. And most of that big work is all done now. Store and department system development, still working on that. Things like on that prior slide about the WIC program and accepting food stamps. There's still some hurdles to cross there with certain paperwork and certifications, but those kind of things are a lot of the things that we're working on right now. Human resources work, you've probably heard we're hiring. We've got 4 jobs open right now, even though really 2 of them are just about to close. And we're just probably moments away from announcing our first hires. So that's really exciting, starting to build this team and see the pieces fall into place, and kind of, create this super team of managers that's going to run this amazing store and take care of all you people. I'm really excited to start introducing these folks and working together. So stay tuned for hiring announcements and also for new job postings as new stuff continues to come out. We'll always be on the hunt for more local products, seeing farms. I was just out to see a new farm last week and had a lot of fun. And I think just, got connected with a couple more locals this week. So we're always doing that stuff. Always send in your recommendations or folks you think we should work with or products you think we'd like in the store. Lots of that work coming up in the next month or 2. Working on our marketing plan and grand opening, for the grand opening and for all of 2021. We'll talk a little bit more about our marketing plan coming up. And as we get ready to set a grand opening date, we're scheduling dates and making sure our permits are in place to have work done in the store, non-contractor work, with NCG. So NCG is the National Cooperative Grocers. They are a cooperative that we actually own. We're a member of, made up of close to 170 stores or whatever across the country. And they are helping us get this store open and providing a lot of the kind of final touches. And we'll be in the store helping us get set up, helping us train key staff, and we'll be there really through opening day. So starting to book dates on their calendar means we are really starting to narrow in on it. Okay, a couple of new updates of construction progress going on inside. This is the walk-in cooler inside the kitchen. It's built and ready to go. Very cool to start to see the cooler starting to get up. This is the very, very, very expensive hood system that is a part of really any major kitchen. I mean, you can't really have a full kitchen without a hood system. I remember talking with Steve Cook in Friendly City about when they were opening their store, and he said, I think he had to figure out how he's going to spend his last $50,000, and if it was going to be on an awesome sign out front, or and some of the other landscaping work that had to go into that, or a hood system. And unfortunately, he had to pick the sign, obviously, and couldn't get the hood system. But they're now getting their hood with their new remodel that's going on right now in Harrisonburg. So excited for them and excited to see our hood system up and ready. Our outdoor patio, you can see the gravel down there. They're going to be pouring that cement next week, so that patio will be all finished. And you can see here our first little vagrant hanging out on the patio. Sarah Perry from Downtown Greens came by for a little private tour of the space, and she wanted to be the first patio customer. So she moved her chair over and started sucking off her water bottle as our first patio guest. And then you can see this little space over here. I left this open. So this was gonna get filled in with concrete. At least that's what was in the plan. And then talking with the contractor, decided to leave it open. And what we're gonna do is kind of, till all that in there, get that soil really nice, add hopefully some of our board members' compost soil into there as soon as I talk them into that. and hopefully make this a really cool little green area. So I'd love to, we're looking into planting a fruit tree on kind of either side of this patio, and maybe some other smaller bushes underneath it, and really kind of line our patio there with some foliage and maybe even some fruit. Duct work, very, not the sexiest stuff, but exciting to know that the co-op's going to be filled with clean, fresh air. This stuff's going all over the store, as you can imagine, and so they're about 70% of the way done. Lots of new power upgrades. This pole was actually put in by Dominion last week. We had to get a brand new pole for all the extra service that we were going to require. And then you can see these new boxes outside. This had all been on the inside of this building in here, but we needed it kicked out outside to make that side usable office space. And so all this got upgraded, and really the space needed a ton of upgrades for all the equipment and things that we're going to be having inside the store. So that work's coming to a close, and we should have power on inside the store within a couple weeks. That's a big hurdle, especially when you're trying to work with the power company to schedule a lot of these upgrades. That can delay things a lot. Happy to say this is not one of the areas that it's going to hold us up. That we're on top of this from the get-go. And then you may have seen this picture before, but this is George from Rappahannock IT helping us mount our GoPro camera. And if you remember what this thing's doing, this beautiful camera up here on this beam takes a picture of the store every 60 seconds. And that is going to get put together into a time-lapse video to show the construction, from beginning to end in some 5 or 10-minute video. And we are lucky enough tonight to have the first little piece of that video. First off, huge shout out and thank you to Andy Craig, who is a partner of a board member and huge co-op volunteer. He's gonna, I could spend all night telling you all the things that Andy is helping me with and has helped me with. But he is a jack of all trades. This is his camera because he goes paragliding with this camera, and so he's letting us use the GoPro, and he's a computer nerd. I don't know how he knows all of these things, but he does, and he edited this video together, and I think he did an awesome job. It's just the first couple of weeks, so this is just a little teaser preview of what the video is going to look like, but we got it ready, and I think it's fun enough to take a couple minutes and show you guys tonight. So thank you, Andy. And we're going to watch this video real quick. So sit back and enjoy. Just a couple minutes. We'll be right back.
Got some drywall coming in here today.
Oh, yeah?
Did everybody see that? Was everybody able to see that? Somebody unmute and say, yes, it was perfect.
Yes, it was perfect.
All right, awesome. I want to make sure I wasn't the only one who saw it. Cool. Well, a huge thank you to Andy. And that was just the tease. You know, you can imagine how cool it's going to look when the rest of the walls go up, all the equipment's in place, the painting's done. You see us in there kind of stocking the store and training and finalizing and then opening the doors and customers storming in. So it's going to be really cool at the end of the day. So excited to share that with you guys. If you haven't been on a Wednesday walkthrough yet and you want to see more exciting updates of what's been going on inside the store, we've got one scheduled for December, and you should drop everything and sign up right after this presentation. They've been a lot of fun, walking folks through the store, showing everybody. I think it gives people a better connection to the store. You know, a lot of folks, whether they invested six figures into the building of this, which we have more than one folks who've done, or it's their $200 that went into buying, you know, half of the cinder blocks on one of these walls over here. You know, these folks are all invested in the store, and this is their grocery store. So it's been a lot of fun showing people around, and I think it's the kind of thing they'll remember. You know, hopefully forever as they shop and use the store as a customer. So that's definitely been a lot of fun. If you're a non-owner who's been on the fence, wants to see more what it's like, please come by, sign up. We'd love to give you a tour. Or if you're an owner but you have some feet dragging friends or neighbors, bring them by, and we'd love to show folks around. There's no hard sell at the end. It's not a timeshare. We don't corner you in a room at the end of it. It's just a lot of fun, and we kind of walk around and talk about the store. Of course, still doing a lot of the interior design work. These are our stamps that are going to be going up in our cafe. This is some artwork from a local artist who is going to be featured in our kind of rotating community art gallery space. And these are potentially some co-op characters that might find their way onto a wall. We'll see about that, but been a lot of fun working on the interior design of the store. A big part of that too will be the green wall that's going to go on into the cafe. So here's a little rendering of our cafe. I think it's pretty close. And here, as you can see, the green wall is going to be up against here. So definitely looking forward to that inviting, fresh space. Other part of the interior design work is, you know, making sure we have a lot of local farmers featured inside the store. So, you know, along with the farm tours that we love to do and we've been out visiting farms, now we're trying to gather these professional quality photo images that we can blow up to dang near life size and kind of feature some of our local growers and producers. It's been a lot of fun. And really, you know, what's going to be guiding a lot of this work is our marketing plan and our brand guide. So don't worry, we're not switching to a purple logo, but this is a kind of an idea of some of the higher level things in our marketing plan. This is our real logo right down here, and then how it'll look in black and white, and then sometimes how it looks in a reverse color on different color backdrops. This is some of the kind of expertise that we'll have guiding the marketing and our marketing director throughout the store. And so it goes from giant things like our logo and when to use it, when not to use it, what colors not to use, to even sometimes the smallest things. So you can see all these arrows on this signage. So this is lots of different signage that NCG provides for co-ops, and they have a whole section in our marketing plan about which arrows to use and when. And so it goes from you know, the big down to the minute details. We're lucky to have NCG and their work. Ownership continues. I think even this number now is out of date. Every time you turn around, this number is growing, which is a beautiful problem to have. I think we're over 1630 now, and just a huge thank you to everyone who continues to. If you're an owner, thank you, of course. If you've been an owner for years and you've been twisting your friends and neighbors' arms, double thank you. And of course, the big thing about ownership and joining before we open is everyone's going to get their name on our founding owners wall. So this is our wall in our new foyer that we're going to have right when you enter the store. And here's a couple of examples of other co-ops that have done similar things to honor founding members, and we're excited about how ours is going to turn out. So hopefully that's a little carrot for folks to join if they haven't joined already. And our volunteer efforts continue, of course. I mean, it's such a integral part of this co-op's DNA, giving back and really even tons of the work being done by volunteers. And just a huge shout out and thank you to Joni Wilson and Carmela Southers, who this week, if you were able to tune in, this Reimagining Our Green Holidays event we had on Wednesday, it was so much fun. I learned so much. I mean, this holiday season obviously is going to be like none other, really, probably, hopefully like none other. And there were just so many great ideas of ways to connect with family and friends at long distance or even next door, but most likely through a screen of some sort. Great ideas from gifts to send and gifts to buy too, not just more Amazon stuff, but how to get your friends different experiences. Or it's just I can't encapsulate all the cool tips and tricks and ideas that were shared, but definitely, if you can, check that out, and thank you to them. They pulled off an amazing presentation. And really, it's a big plug for our YouTube page. We have a YouTube page. That might be the first news. If you go to youtube.com, you can just type in Fredericksburg Food Cooperative, type out the whole cooperative, and you should be able to scroll down a little bit. We only have 5 subscribers. I don't know what that's about. Maybe we can get that doubled here by the end of the week, but there's almost all the events that we do, we post the video here. You can see even my silly presentations are up there if you want to see some older ones. So definitely go check out our YouTube page, and really it's the price of admission is free, but it would be worth it even if it was more to watch this Reimagining Our Green Holidays one over here. So go check out our YouTube page, Fredericksburg Food Cooperative, and you'll see it's got a lot of old past videos, or if you miss things in the future going forward, we'll post them all there. Keep going on events. Tomorrow's our last farmers market of the season. Come out and if you haven't seen the winterized Virginia Love sign, that's beautiful. And then what I couldn't get a picture of is the awesome Christmas tree that's going on in Herkamp Park. So definitely 2 reasons just to go out there. Of course, along with all these other delicious reasons over here to the right, and get out there and support our local growers. That we know what a tough year they've had. This is the last chance to kind of get out and show support. Oyster pop-ups. We've had 2 already. They've both been a big hit. Both the companies that we've worked with, Rappahannock and Rogue, have thanked us and have said it's been a great turnout. So thank everybody who has already known about them and ordered. It's awesome support. None of the money comes to us. We don't take a percentage like an agent or anything. We're just there to help these local businesses sell local food and start to get folks in the habit of coming to Lee Plaza and the co-op to get good local food. So we're going to have one more here the end of the year for Christmas, 2 days before Christmas. So the website is up and going. You can find it through our Facebook page. You should find it in our newsletter, or if you just go to Rogue Oysters, you'll find it and place your order for some Christmas oysters. And finally, we like to end these presentations with good news, right? We all need lots of good news these days. So, and lucky for me, co-ops are doing, so many co-ops are doing so many good things all over the country that these have been easy to find and fill. So this is Menominee Food Co-op in Menominee, Wisconsin. They won honorable mention in FMI. It's like food something industry. It's a big time food publications. 2020 Grocers Doing Good Awards, and this category was addressing food insecurity. They won an honorable mention for their Double Dollars program, which sounds a lot like what our SNAP match is going to be like. You know, different states have different amounts of funding for this stuff. It doesn't sound like Wisconsin has as much as Virginia does. So kudos to our Virginia folks for all the hard work and fundraising that they've done, but kudos for Menominee for making it happen with what they were able to do and getting some national recognition for it. That's really cool. This is Honest Weight on the left here in Albany, and then Abundance Food Co-op in Rochester on the right. Both doing just give back and food events for Thanksgiving. So Honest Weight gave out a bunch of, donated a bunch of meals to free food fridges. So you might have seen these free food fridges around the country. They're kind of fridges that have been set up in different parts of neighborhoods, kind of as, you know, a lot of these like libraries you'll see around neighborhoods, you know, free libraries. Well, these are really just kind of mobile food pantries that they've just found an outlet, an electric outlet for, put a fridge there and stocked it up with food for anybody in need to come grab food. And it sounds like Albany's got a lot of these around town, and the co-op went and donated a ton of food to all 5 of the food fridges around Albany. So really cool from Honest Weight. And then Abundance gave out kind of free turkey lunches all Thanksgiving Day. So that was really cool. And our last little piece of good news is right down the street from Roanoke. So they got recognized for their commitment to safety. They were named the best community engaged organization in the Southwest Virginia Magazine's Reader Survey. So Roanoke won, you know, for being the most caring and cautious during the pandemic, though, you know, they did not close at all or anything like that, but just for the care that they took for their employees, for their staff, and safety. So cool award for Roanoke right down the street. And that'll do it, guys. We are done with our December look ahead. I'll stop sharing here. All right. Well, I see lots of chat, so it sounds like maybe there's been a bunch of questions, or maybe just a bunch of, I couldn't see that video. Hopefully it wasn't that.
You got a question here from Els about the WIC program and what are the kind of criteria for it?
The criteria are that you carry a certain amount of products. And to be honest, that's one of the, so it's actually not that hard to get approved. If you are, you know, if you are a legitimate grocery store, you know, these are a lot of the things they check. You're a legitimate business. A lot of it has come down to access to a lot of the different food. So co-ops in the past have been hesitant because they include, I would say, a lot of food that kind of isn't the cleanest sometimes, and that ends up being, you know, a violation of maybe a food policy they have. So a couple of things have changed. They've been lenient about not having to carry every single product if there is a certain you know, baby food that has a certain additive in it that maybe the co-op disagrees with. You know, you don't have to carry every single item like you have in the past. So that's definitely been one that kind of eases up some of the restraints, and more co-ops are looking into becoming WIC eligible and carrying a lot of the WIC products.
Well, someone's asking about volunteer opportunities. I guess you mentioned with the opening.
Yes. So one of our big marketing initiatives for the opening, and really, I think throughout our, existence, will be kind of door-to-door flyering. So it's called door hanging, hanging door hangers on doors, and it's normally done, via direct mail companies. But in my history, direct mail companies, are not that thorough. B, they're super expensive, and C, a lot of times it might not be the best ambassador for the co-op that you want having some personal one-on-one interactions. They don't know a lot about the store. Maybe they're smoking while they're passing out your your flyers or whatever it may be. Who would you rather have answer some question about the co-op and what it's all about? One of our dedicated volunteers, or some guy who's just doing it as kind of a day labor kind of thing. So I've always used staff and volunteer help for this stuff. And so we're definitely gonna be doing a lot of that before our opening. And the only bad part is convincing folks to walk the streets in the winter to do it. But I think it'll be fun. I know I'm going to do a lot of them myself because I'll get to learn a lot of neighborhoods, and it's really cool. We can be kind of street specific about certain neighborhoods and certain parts of town that we want to hit, and make sure that everyone here knows about the co-op, knows that we're opening, and usually has some great offer or coupon to come in and visit.
Lots of accolades for Andy's video. Is that music always playing at the co-op, Chris?
I've heard Andy can do everything. I've heard that's him on the trumpet. That's what he agrees. Okay, it is him. No, that to me, that music's a little too frenetic for grocery shopping. We want people to slow down, relax, and enjoy yourself inside the store. But that could be outside on the patio, maybe for Andy's happy hour, something like that. But yes, thank you, Andy. Thank you so much. You're a stud, and you've got much more work to where that came from, my brother. I would say that's about less than 5% of all the files that he's got to go through, unfortunately. All right, Rich, are you reading questions, or do you want me to?
No, I don't see any more questions here.
Okay.
That you haven't already answered. Linda asked about walkthrough Wednesdays, but you already got to that point. So hopefully, Linda, you'll sign up. I'm seeing pretty much, let's see, when is the crane lifting the AC units onto the roof?
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, we've got a couple of cranes coming. Cranes are obviously fun because they're big and noisy and expensive, and proof that work is happening.
And macho.
What? Say it again.
And macho.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't get into that macho stuff, but that's for your husband. But but what's cool is, so we've got 2 cranes coming up. We've got one on Thursday. Man, I feel like now everybody's gonna show up. We've got one on Thursday coming to lift the 14,000 pound refrigeration rack system onto the roof, which that will be a large undertaking. And then one, I think in 2 weeks from now, putting the rest of the HVAC units on the roof. So 2 cranes coming. Don't feel like you have to be there. I will be videotaping them, and you'll see them. You'll see them. If you're into watching big machinery, you will be able to see them.
So we got some volunteers for door hanging.
Cool.
And Els and Adam have volunteered, and I'm happy to volunteer too. So let me ask everyone who's willing to volunteer to do a thumbs up on the, you go to reactions and either you can put your real thumb up, or you can do a thumb up with the thing. Yeah, I'm seeing quite a few. Okay. I think you probably got.
It's going to be like degrees, 35 degrees. All right.
But our hearts will be warm.
Well, cool. Thank you. Well, yeah, and I was actually talking with Sarah today and Andy. Actually, Andy was out front. Can't get rid of Andy. Andy, we were talking about our herb gardens out front of the co-op, and I was like, now these herb gardens are going to look terrible most of the year. You know, who's going to take care of these? And I was like, well, you got to get some volunteers to take care of these herbs. And I was like, oh yeah. So yeah, we might need some gardening volunteers too. So if hoofing the streets of Fredericksburg is not your gig, there'll be other opportunities. Don't worry. Linda says she's from Chicago. Bring on the weather. She's no fear. Yeah. So that's Linda. Good point. So that's where I had to go convince people to do door hanging walking in, January and February in Chicago. And that was always a little tough.
So Susan is asking opening date, question mark, question mark, question mark.
Yeah.
I think we've had that question more than 3 times, but she's asking it 3 times.
Well, here's what I don't ask. I ask that you don't go back and look at my first video ever and say what I said about the opening date. That's what I need you to promise me not to do. Right now, we're looking at mid-February is really what we're at right now. The biggest part, Andy brought up the cranes. The biggest thing delaying us has been the HVAC equipment. And I think, what did we get? I think the 15th. Yeah, those units are arriving on the 15th. COVID, I guess, has been a big strain on that supply system. And so they're coming the 15th. And the reason HVAC is such a big deal because the HVAC is the first, has to be done, and all the building has to be heated and to the right stable temperature, and then they can do the flooring. And they can't do the flooring until that. And then all the flooring has to be down before they can do the refrigeration. They can't do the refrigeration until the floor is done. So you see how this HVAC domino holds up a lot of these other things. So right now we're circling the middle of February. That's what NCG and I are starting to plan for. And we will, as soon as the last obstacle is out of the way, and that's kind of what I was getting at today, that we're kind of out of things that can hold us up. We've got delivery dates on really every major piece of equipment, so it's really nothing there is gonna be an issue. We've kind of found everything hidden under rock and behind wall that could be a potential issue has been uncovered and unveiled and dealt with. So there really shouldn't be any more real delays after the HVAC gets finalized. So middle of February is kind of what we're aiming at. But when we have a date that we know we won't miss, we'll be announcing it to our ownership for sure.
So is that like Valentine's Day or something?
Yeah, that's a good thought, Rich. I don't know. I would love for it to hit Valentine's Day. We'll have to see what we can do about that.
We have another volunteer here, Chris. Adam is volunteering to eat the herbs.
Well, yeah, that's what we started thinking about. How cool it would be to have, our kitchen staff, whenever they need herbs for some dish, to be able to go out onto our patio and collect, co-op grown parsley and thyme. So, Adam, I look forward to feeding you those.
Well, let me say we're all very excited by the progress being made during this really difficult time. Before we know it, we'll all be in the store shopping and grabbing a cup of coffee and a muffin or a smoothie or whatever.
That's right. Cool. Well, thank you. Thank you, Rich. Who else is asking if beer is allowed on the patio? Well, I don't know. Is the ABC department on this Zoom meeting? Okay, probably not. We will not have an on-premise license. Too much regulation and restriction goes into that. But between you and me, Els, if you bring a cup, I'm never going to ask you what's in your cup out on the Sunset patio. So that's between you and your God. But unfortunately, we won't have an official on-premise license, unfortunately.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, if that's it, thank you so much for spending your Friday nights with us. You can get back to basketball or dinner or whatever is going on. And we'll see you again. We'll see you again early January with a lot of exciting stuff.
Thanks for all your work, Chris.
Of course. My pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks.